Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got a balanced rack, but duplicates in the A's, so I'm not seeing a bingo here. What to do? I think Gamma leaves the best rack leave. Well, an unbalanced rack now with just the single vowel. I drew 4 consonants. Through an E, I would have dandlers. Not seeing anything through an A. And no scoring tiles. So I'm going to struggle to score with this rack. Gamma takes an A in front, so I could play land. Or nard to avoid a front hook. And Gamma takes an S and a Y at the end. And that was part of my reason for playing Gamma, is that I had an S on the initial rack. Add land is good, which I do have, but doesn't score very much. Although it would get both D's tripled in column 10. So, apart from dandlers, are there any other 8s? Well, if there were, the floater would be a vowel. Nothing with an A. How about an I? Not seeing anything. An O? No. And nothing with a U or a Y. So it's only dandlers that I'm seeing with this rack. Opponent taking a while. Oh, wow. And opponent has a bingo. Not quite sure why that took as long to find as it did, but good spot anyway. And opponent provides an E, which is handy. Dandlers for 66. A balanced rack. Couple of high-scoring tiles, so I may not have a bingo, but in the absence of a bingo, it's good to have scoring tiles. Yi ow is good, and I am looking to get rid of both. The rest of the rack is quite bingo-y. But could there be a bingo with this rack? I've got the LY ending. I'm not seeing a 7. How about the floaters? Nothing with the L or the O. C, S. Wow, quite a few floaters to consider. And I'm not seeing anything. And also some pairs of letters, A, G, N, A, D, M, all fairly unlikely given W and Y feature so rarely in bingos. I have yellow through an L, but I don't think it's going to be optimal to open up row A. Just 22 for opponent, that's good. He's not out of sight. So, I mentioned Yiao, that does play in row I, but sets up a nice spot in row H. Yao does not take an S. C takes nothing. Lockets takes nothing in front. WEY is good. Interesting. Well, yeah, that plays here. Way for 28, decent score. Yao does not play in that spot. Wei could also play in row I, but for a lower score. And Wei takes an S, which I've got. So I am going with this. Just wondering about Wuselli, but if Wuselli is good, and I'm not sure it is, it would go beyond the edge of the board. So Wei for 28. Wow, what a pickup. It didn't need to be this good to bingo, but it certainly is a massively bingo-y rack. So where are the lanes? Any double doubles? No. How about triples? Well, column 8 beginning with A. Surely I have a choice of bingos here. Great. Well, opponent plays Doff again for slightly more points. Doesn't create any new opening. So I'm looking for a bingo beginning with an A. So I have Anno Lights, but that puts the blank on the double letter square. So let me look through the alphabet and see if I can find something better. I feel there must be several candidate plays here. Anethols. Oh wow, again getting the blank doubled. Ethanols doesn't begin with A. Salmonette doesn't begin with A. Pleonastal lapstone, no. Or maybe there aren't a ton of choices. That's anolites. No, I'm not seeing anything better than anolites. I still feel there probably is something. 71. Well, I'm not bingoing with this rack. Can I get value from the J? J, A, I and Adji are both good. O takes a J. Fed takes nothing in front. I don't have a T or an R for Taj and Raj. So no super hot J spots. I have Adjis, but for barely over 20 in column 13. I would have Hadji with an H. Neither's been played. Now I have a lead, but it's only half a bingo, and I've provided opponent with an amazing assortment of floaters. And I only got 71 points, so maybe I should have played a row I bingo overlapping gammas to provide fewer floaters. Or played through the S to provide no floaters and take out the floaters in lockets. Yeah. 71 really isn't many points at all. And I would only have got a couple of fewer points by playing through the S. Anyway, the play is down. Fantastic. Opponent does not have a monster bingo. Opponent has provided a spot for jam. Let me see what this scores, because, well, 29 points, which is quite good. But look at this rack lead, definitely not good. Jow is good, but that doesn't get the J tripled. Is there something just better in terms of vowels and consonants? What about jam up here? 35 points. Quite tempting. Inia, well, it's vowel heavy, but there are a lot of floating consonants on the board. L, C, S, T and S, and N. So I mind you to go with this. Jam provides nothing. Opponent can't score off the J. Mo takes nothing in front. And 35 points, pretty decent score. I'm going with this. Great. I draw consonants. This is not an unbalanced rack. I don't think I have a bingo. Rhizine is good, but not Rhizina. Wow, so very close to Rhizines with the Z doubled. That would have been massive. So what can I do here? Lane takes an S after it. Lane takes an A in front. So I do have ZA, but that's for a pretty measly score. I have Zari and its anagrams. I was just about to say that I have an H for CH, but opponent's gone in that spot. I have Shiraz, but that score is dismal. Still just half a bingo ahead, which isn't very much. Well, Placer is good, so I do have Zaris. I don't think this is going to be best, but 38 points is decent. And it's not best because it's so easy for opponent to put an A or an O in a column 14 play. And although that opens up column 15, I may or may not have the tiles to take advantage of it. And given that I only lead by half a bingo, I'd prefer not to introduce such volatility. What about a play in row C? So I have Zona. 39 points. Pretty good. Rack leave isn't, so I would like to get rid of one of the I's. Is there a way of doing that? Is there an N for Zinnia? Well, no. I have Zar. If I had two A's, I would have Zarina getting the Z doubled. What about getting the Z tripled? No. I have an A for Agamas. Can I get the Z tripled in column 6? No, I can't. What about playing Rhizine? Here, which interrupts 3 floaters, scores 40 odd points, turns over tiles with a blank unseen, and doesn't provide a huge scoring spot in row O because not many big tiles can go underneath an I. I am going with this. Wow, I draw Q and V. However, I have I for Chi and AT for cat. So I may be able to play through this. Placette is good, so I have cat in column 13. Quite a lot of I's to come for Chi, but one of them is on my rack. My lead, 90 points. So, any other spots for cat or Chi? Well, I'm not sure there are. Through R and N, I would have Trank. Any U's on the board? Wow, all 4 U's unplayed. And I've got the wretched Q. I have Chin in row I for not very much. So I don't have to play off the Q. I've got V and Y as well, so I could play Ivy or Tivy somewhere. With half an eye on drawing one of the U's. QU together has positive value. So I could play Tivy in row L, which would disrupt the S of Dandlers as a floater, and the T of Anolites. Only 22 points. But if I play cat, okay, 37 for opponent, that's a good score. I can't do anything. He hasn't provided anything good for me. So this is what I'm thinking about. If I play cat, it's 34 points. I'm getting rid of the Q, but I'm keeping V and Y. And even if opponent doesn't play QI next turn, I'm going to struggle to use that spot and play off V or Y, and I'd like to play off both. So that's 34. This is 22, retaining the Q. Cat's got to be better. Yeah, I think I play cat, and then if opponent does play QI, I've got Tivy. And I have Stivy in column 13. I just feel there ought to be other options, but I'm not seeing them. Well, I have cats in row M. 27 points, fewer points. But I'm retaining another consonant, and I'm retaining another consonant. I am going with cat and place set. Well, I do not draw one of the U's. Maybe opponent's got a lot of them. That would be fun. And Tivy is really going to sort this rack out because it's going to get rid of V and Y and sort out both duplicates. And I have 2 spots for it. Well, there's either side of lane, but there's also down from the S of Dandlers. Yod takes an E. Z takes nothing in front, but is available for a play in column 4 using it. I'm not seeing such a play. R only takes an E underneath it, so... Oh, wow, fantastic play by opponent. Now is only 9 points behind. Wow, 80 points. Well, none of the plays I was considering would have prevented that, and I think opponent with braze and a blank would have had alternative bingos available. So, is Tivy the play? I think it still is. Tivy for 22, that's not very much, but I'm getting rid of problem tiles. However, what about this? 39 points. I think that's worth doing. Opponent can't score off the triple word square at the top because no two-letter V plays. Yeah, and he's going to struggle to reach the triple word square in column 14. This feels a lot better, and given how close we are in score, a score of 39 is jolly handy. And opponent's player spare rib did not provide particularly useful floaters. B and I, very unuseful, are quite good. Now, well, I'm still missing all of these U's, which is good. What can I do with this rack? Through an A, I would have gaiety. No more blanks to come, so I don't need to turn over for that. 25 for opponent. I've still got a very slender lead. Still no U's played. Do I have anything down in column 15? I don't. So I do have an E for RE, but YE is the best I can do. And although I don't want to draw the U's, this rack is pretty grim, so I also don't want to hang on to what's in it, or not many items of what's in it. Still 5 E's to come, so even the E is fairly expendable. 1 S to come. So what I could do is play Yite. I could play Yite, but with an S. I don't think that's a good move. 21 points, not very many. Can I do better? Do I have any INY plays? No. Anything through XI? No. Z only takes an S. What about a play in row M? I'm not seeing anything on my rack apart from Yeti. Let me check the remaining vowels. 14 out of 25, so it's mainly vowels out there. Gosh, I could be drawing all these U's. When opponent played boo, surely he had no U's, otherwise he would probably have played off one of them. So I could be drawing them. 9 minutes on my clock. I do have an E for Yod. Anything onto the P? No. What am I missing? Yeti just has such a lame score. And I'm retaining the G, but no more G's to come. And there's a consonant shortage. That boosts its value. Yeah, and this is a consonant-heavy racklave. I am going with this. I draw one of the U's with the W and the G and the P. That's a pretty awful set. But I have this precious 40-point lead and not many lanes on the board. But it's not locked down. So OH takes a M, O and S. No M's to come. 1 O, 1 S. I have wept in row J for a miserly score. Through an N, I would have up went. N of N analytes not available. I have a P for plain. Now, do I have anything in column 15? It would need to begin with an E. I don't. Although with all the vowels to come, a six-letter play is more likely than if there were lots of consonants. I have patui. Yeah, the problem with wept is it's retaining a U with 3 U's to come. Great, opponent frightened of column 15 and takes it out for very few points. So with 3 U's to come, I'd quite like to play off my U. I can do that with patui, which then retains, well, W and G. Not great. 7 minutes on my clock. Again, do I have anything through XI? Wow, if I had an A, I would have Wu Chia. Wu Xia, rather. Is there anywhere for W and U? Let me see what this scores. 30 points. A lot of points. But surely I am going to be drawing U's. What about a UNI play or an INU play? Not seeing one. So this is what I'm thinking of. Patui for 13 compared to 30 for Pixie. Must be something better than those. Not seeing anything down onto the P. Not seeing an extension of Nothing to go in front of NY. No O to go after ox. I do have a P for going in front of it. Just not seeing anything good in that area. Nothing to go between T and O. 6 minutes on my clock. Any upwards? Gosh, what a tricky situation to be in. But what's my lead? 30 points. I think this is going to guarantee me options next turn. I'm going to draw vowels. I'm going to have a scoring tile in the W. I'm going with patui. Wow, and I draw all 3 U's. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. And it means that what opponent's facing is quite a decent set of tiles. He's got the floating N, he's got the floating O, which is less useful. But he could have a very bingo-y rack. All 3 U's, and I only played off 4 tiles. Wow. So, what to do here? Very hard to... Well, what are the floaters? The floating N is really the only decent one, and that's not the best floater in the world. Opponent plays Hin for 19, so 30 points behind. N takes a U. But I don't have any way of playing off the U's. At least I can't draw any more U's. I have Utu on my rack. No A for Wu Chia. That would have been nice. 5 minutes on my clock. No UNU words. I'm going to struggle to score anything at all with this rack. The opponent could catch me without a bingo. Four tiles left. What about playing tune? Oh, look at this rack lave. Look at that. Absolutely awful. What am I going to do? So much for playing Patui. Anything at all through XI. An opponent could just play through that himself, and I don't have an O for OXO. 3 minutes on my clock. And I only lead by 30 points. Just thinking about playing Nug, splitting up G and W. Is there really nowhere for Utu? Nowhere at all. Surely, regardless of score, can I play Utu? Or a D for Voodoo? Gosh, this is a really tricky spot to be in. I'm playing Nug for 12. And I draw consonants. Wow. W and U just go so badly together. Still no A for Uchia, no O for Oxo. That is great. Only 24 for opponent. Bag's empty. I lead 2 minutes on my clock. I lead by 18 points. Can I go out into untune? Not good. I really could do with playing something like untrue and then just having a W. Well, I can do that. I can do that. I can do this. 15 points, just a W. Can I play just a W in 2 spots? Please let the answer be yes. W-O and a WOD. I can. This is 15 points, so I lead by 18. I'm going to lead by 33 points. How useful is this for opponent? Because I'm going to lead by 33. I'm then going to get at least 7, or I'm going to get 7 for WOD, which is 40. I'm going to get count back. I'm really low on time. Does opponent have a bingo through the N? No, he doesn't. T not available, so it's just plays through the U, or bingos through the N. I've only got 1 minute left. Is there a 5-letter play ending E which plays off 2 U's? Don't think so. I am going with this. I've got less than 1 minute left. What horrendous blunder have I committed? Well, the opponent's got 10 minutes to find a win here. He trails by 33 points. I couldn't see anything amazing through this U. And really, opponent would need, I think, to play off C and V through the U. Can't see a way for him to do that. Now, with only 50 seconds left, where is the best spot for W? I've got WOD for 7. I'm going to do this fairly methodically. 33 for opponent. Fantastic. Look at that. We're level. WOD is going to win. Amazing. But let me go out with the best possible play. Keeping an eye on the clock. U for 13. Fantastic. 30 seconds left. Wox. Okay, this surely is it. And the final score, 390 for opponent, 407 for me, a winning margin of 17 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game, that was special. Those racks at the end were absolutely monstrous. Could I have done better? It was me to go first, and I played Gamma for 14, and that's fine. I think Agama is also fine. Nice bingo for opponents, but fortunately I'm able to come straight back with Dandlers, and look at this, there was a bingo through the O. Land dross, tricky one to see. I think it may take a T as a hook. Opponent plays 'Twas tight as a nun's knickers. Lol. Yes, okay. Hadn't really thought of it in those terms, but he may have a point. So, 22 for opponent. Gosh, thought that was a bingo and it wasn't. Woolsey, C9. Yeah, burning the S. What do? I play Way for 28, and I think that's a better play because Lose is a pretty decent four-letter set, and Woolsey only scores 6 more and trashes the S. 26 for opponent, but B9. Opponent could have played through the L. Oxland for 60. Fortunately for me, didn't spot that. Now, look at this. At this point, everything looked rosy. I trailed by just 20 points, and I had this amazing rack. No hint of the horrors to come. So, what do? Oh, yes, this is where I struggled to find an A bingo. And look at this. All of the bingos down from the A placed the blank on the double letter square. Anathols and Anolites. However, I could have got 4 more points. Oh, well, I'm not a fan of this. Stollen, sticking an S in the middle of column 1. That is not worth getting 4 extra points for. And D8, not Chels. Well, I'm covering the double letter square. So that's not so bad. So any of these plays are fine. Opponent plays Lane for 8. And now, oh wow, Jicama D9, where's that? Through the C, that's nice. Really sorts the rack out, scores well. What do? I played Jam for 1 more point, keeping a much worse rack leave, so I think Jicama was the play. Opponent plays Place. And now I play Rhizine for 42, M8. Thiazin available for 46, so 4 more points and a slightly better rack leave in the R than the A, but Thiazin takes an E and an S afterwards, so I prefer my play. And Hazier N4, getting the Z tripled. Okay, actually I think overall my play is the best of those 3. Lovely rack for opponent, no bingo. Plays Ox for 37. And here we go, this is the start of the horror show, which just goes on and on and on until the end of the game, and there are 34 tiles in the bag, and I have this slender lead. So, what do? I play Cat for 34, that looks fine. Opponent has this amazing bingo, which was a terrific spot, and my lead shrinks to 9 points. So, Vig, that was my play for 39. Opponent struggling with vowels, but alas, not use. Plays Boo. Now, what do here? I play Yeti for 21, keeping Git. Tiny, I6. Okay, that has merit, taking out a useful floater in the N. Scoring a bit more. Yeah. Both those plays are fine, and only 2 E's to come, so I think Tiny was a better play there. Opponent's rack plays and now I lead by 30 odd, and I have this horrendous rack. Thought about Pixie, didn't like the rack leave, or retaining the U with 3 to come. So I played Patui for 13. But look at this, every suggested play here retains a U, and there are 3 to come, all of which I draw at once. Anyway, so what was the play? Quite possibly Pixie. Even though I'm retaining the U, I'm taking out a useful scoring spot for opponent and scoring a decent amount. Now, opponent's rack, struggling with eyes, plays hen. Wow, exit for 24, retaining all U's, W and G. Look at these rack leaves. This is why I struggle. Generally, I'm willing to sacrifice points to sort out the rack leave, but that option was simply not available. Every rack leave was a rack leave from hell. So what do? I play nug for 12. Well, hard to say that any of these are obviously better. Possibly exit, denying opponent the X. Now, opponent's rack nicely maturing, plays through the X. And I'm clinging on by my fingernails with an 18-point lead, and the bag is empty. So, I play untrue, G4, Ren because of Fang. Well, I don't like that. Opponent's then got Vice. But can I... And then I'm going to struggle to go out with Utu. Very difficult to see, and I don't think I have the time right now to fully analyse this. I think it requires some reflection and... Well, not reflection in a meditation sense, but just considering of the options available. But I think that untrue is fine because I'm guaranteed an out. It's only not fine if opponent has a win. Let's find out. So, opponent does not have a win because he plays cuvées, and that is not enough. So I am happy with the untrue play. And finally, ooh for 13 is best. So, what a game. Absolute epic battle. And the game for the whole of the last third was just shockingly bad from my perspective, and I really struggled to sort my rack out, and the rack just was not getting sorted out at all. Fortunately for me, opponent was not able to bingo or take advantage of my demise. My racks were so bad I felt opponent could catch me without a bingo, but he was unable to do so. So absolutely amazing game and lots of really interesting racks to consider, and it's really quite unusual to be in a position where the moves you're contemplating leave dreadful rack leaves, but you can't see alternatives which leave good ones. So, fantastic game. Many thanks to opponent for such a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.